advice do you guys have for aspiring actors?
Stay off the drugs. Stay off the drink.
I think it's good to take a class. Even if you can act already, it's good to meet other actors.
100%.
And to do scene work with a teacher. And you learn, you get inspired by a good teacher.
And I think you get the support of your classmates who are pursuing the same thing.
So much of being a professional actor is having the support of other actors.
Yeah. It's a lonely profession, and it's a profession that is built to break you down. So here's what I'll tell you. Go into acting because you love to act. If you're looking to be famous, don't bother. And if you're looking for a self-esteem build-up because you want to see yourself on film, don't bother. It's a very, very brutal, harsh business. So you have to really want to do it, and you have to be very secure of who you are and what your talents are, and be willing to work on them and focus on them. Acting is golf. It's you, your stick, your ball, and your work on your game. Doesn't matter about anybody else. So you got to focus on yourself, your craft, and keep your eyes on the prize, and know where you're trying to hit your ball, and keep focused on that. Because too many things will try to knock you off your path. If you do that, you'll be in good stead. Otherwise, you might find yourself unhappy in the profession because it's really not built to bring you joy. It's built to break you down. And if you can withstand that, you can find joy in the profession after the war is won, so to speak. So that's my advice. And it sounds harsh, but it's the reality of what it is. It's a brutal profession that we love, but you pay a price to pursue it. And especially when young people go into it, I know how fragile the emotional framework can be. You just got to be prepared for the fact that they're going to pick you apart and judge you in ways you did not expect to be judged. And they say things to you your grandmother would never say. So you have to be prepared for that and trust yourself and focus on your own skill and your own game. All right?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Good luck.
Good luck.
You.
Hi. I love you both, but my question's for Richard.
All right.
In Unfinished Business, you directed and then you played Gabriel and Loki, so I was wondering how hard was that?
It was challenging. I'm not gonna lie, it was challenging. I was, I directed myself in Kings of Con, but that was a smaller scale project. I had not directed myself playing two characters, which created sort of a visual and special effect element to it, plus creating two, defined characters to play. I was lucky in that I had the best crew in the business who've been together for 13 years doing what they do at a high level. And I had the asset of having Jensen Ackles, who had done exactly that, direct himself on that show. And I had the asset of having Jared Padalecki, who had worked alongside Jensen when he was directing himself on that show. And we had a meeting, the three of us, about how best for me to pull it off. And Jensen gave me some very, very wise advice. And Jared leapt in with the idea that, hey, since there's nobody at the monitor watching performance, we will self-govern our own acting, because you know us, and we know you, and you know what we're trying to do, and we know what you're trying to do, and we can work like you would your own scene study in acting class or whatever, kind of self-direct the performances of these scenes. And it was great to have them do that, because Jared had said that he had been an asset, and Jensen confirmed it, had been an asset to Jensen in that scenario, because she could say, hey man, I don't think that's quite Dean. You're not quite there. You're worried about the camera move, because there's so many things you're worried about when you're directing that performance sometimes takes a back seat. And Jensen understood the technical side, and Jared understood the performance side, and as a team, they were invaluable, and the work benefited tremendously from that. We would do those scenes in the hotel room, and the first take, I was like, oh, that was good, and Jensen's like, we're gonna do one more. I'm like, we're gonna do one more, everybody. Because he could see that I was distracted, and he knew that I wouldn't be happy when I got in the edit bay. And so it was great to have those guys, as supportive of what I was trying to accomplish as I was passionate about it. It was really invaluable. So, I couldn't have pulled that off without Jared and Jensen believing that I could do it and committing to helping me out, and Brad and Serge and Robin, the camera crew, and DP, doing the same. It was really a team sport.
That's what continues to be so amazing about this show for me, is that these two guys in season 14 care as much as they did in season 1. They really want to make this the best show, and the fact that they stood up for you last season to help you out in that situation, or just to give you their support. They're giving 110% every episode, and I think that's the reason we're all still here today talking about it.
100% true, Robbie. You're not wrong. Everybody, thank you so much for your time. That's Rob Benedict.
That's
and
Richard Spade.
I'm Richard Spade, and this has been, well, it's been the two of us. Just the two of us.
Just the two of us.
Answering questions. Just the two of us. For 3 days. Yeah,
Just the two of us.
pretty much as Robbie and Rich, standing right around here.
Just the two of us.
For all 3 days. Hey band, while you're kind of jamming out here, anybody in the band know what's next? Anybody want to tell me what's, oh really? The guitarist talking to me. You vamp, I'll go find out. Do your scat singing, like.
We think it might be Alcal.
I don't know, man.
Creative Quest winners. Creative Quest winners?
What the hell's Creative Quest?
Well, that's Creative Quest
Here's the
winners.
bosses, they're back here.
Nobody told me
Are you
who
coming
it
up?
was.
You're coming up?
No, that was a thing.
Okay, I'll be on
For 3 days.
Hey, Robbie.
Is it Creative Quest winners?
It's Creative Quest winners. They're going to be announced right now, so we need to bring up the backbone of the creation family.
Right.
Ladies and gentlemen,